everybody, I'm Lisa from the Stop, Drop, and Knit podcast. Today's video is going to be all about the naturally dyed yarns that are going to be in my next shop update on Saturday, February 1st, 2025. So if you are interested in seeing the yarns that will be available, stick around. And if not, I'll have another podcast episode coming to you probably in a week or so. So I will see you next time. Hi everybody, it's Lisa from the Stop, Drop, and Knit podcast. Today's video is not a regular podcast episode. Actually, I wanted to come on and give everybody an up-close look at the naturally dyed yarns that are going to be available in my StopDropAndKnit.com shop update this Saturday, February 1st. I'm going to have a few bases available that are fairly new to my shop. So I wanted to give you an up-close look at those. And I also really wanted to get the yarns in action on video because I'm sure everybody knows that on your screen, colors can look very different from how they look in person. And so while I do my best in my shop photography to always film outdoors in the natural light and match the colors in the pictures as closely to how I see them as possible, I think showing them on video is just another chance for everybody to see how the colors show up on screen in motion and holding some of them together so that you can really see for yourself what everything is going to look like. For the February update, I wanted to focus on all of the beautiful shades of pink and a few shades of brown for Valentine's Day, since that is quickly approaching. I have an absolutely stunning range of colors from Pokeberry that I have been dyeing with since the summer and setting aside for this particular update. And I also have a few shades from Black Walnut, which I just thought the pinks and the browns, like chocolate, strawberries, that kind of thing was what was on my mind for this shop update. So I'm really excited to show you everything that's going to be available. The thing that's unique about my particular shop at this moment is that I use only the colors that I can forage myself out in the wild. So I do not purchase any extracts of these materials or buy them from any kind of supplier. Everything that you see in my shop, I have personally gone out and collected the materials from the areas around me all over Long Island in New York. So these yarns are available only in the United States right now. So to my overseas viewers, I apologize for that. Just let me know if you would be interested in seeing any of these yarns and purchasing them in your country, and I can look into what the shipping would entail. But since I've just opened my shop recently, I'm just focusing on staying within the USA for the moment. So I hope that you can understand that. But if there's enough interest, I'll definitely look into seeing what I can do. Okay, I am so excited to share this first base with you. When I saw this yarn available, this base available, I knew immediately that I wanted to carry it in my shop. I think I'll just go and quickly hold up my Trader Joe's box here of the colors that are going to be available. I will show them one by one. Maybe I'll just start with this one just to hold it up and talk about the base. So I have my Cuddle DK base, and this yarn is a thick and thin single ply 100% non-superwash merino yarn. So I wanted to maybe get a close up of the actual pattern. So it's a boucle, and it's single ply. Let's see, here's a strand that's kind of fallen. I don't know if we can see that some parts are thicker and some parts are thinner, the way that it's spun. So this yarn, I have been working it up because I was very curious to see what it was going to look like in its knit up form. And so I was also swatching for a sweater, so I have this really big sample that I made because I was trying to choose colors. So the color scheme that I'm actually going to be using for my sweater is this one here, and this pink is actually going to be available in my shop. So my sweater is going to be these colors. The gray I dyed with sumac, and that is no longer available in my shop. But the pink, the dark magenta, is one of the pokeberry colors in my selection. And also this lighter pink over here is also available. So I think that this lighter pink is my cotton candy colorway, and this darker pink is the passion fruit colorway. So the part that I've already knit up for my sweater it's actually, I can insert a picture of the sweater, but it's actually the turtleneck part of the sweater is all I've gotten done so far. But this is actually really great because I wanted to see like how it felt against my skin. And you guys, this is so soft. It is so completely snuggly and soft. I call this yarn Cuddle for a reason because it just makes you want to squish it and cuddle up to it. But this is just how it looks in ribbing. So I'll take this off now, but it is absolutely next to the skin soft. So I thought that I would also show you how the sample looks in a ribbing. So it's just a really fun textured yarn. It's single ply, so it's very lightweight. I feel like it's pretty drapey too, but I also feel like it's going to be very warm because it is merino and it's 100% wool. I think a lot of the boucle yarns have some kind of nylon content in them, and so what I really like about this one is that it's just 100% fine merino wool. So I wanted to also give you guys another close-up of the thick and thin texture to the yarn. So this is just from my sample, my swatch. So pretty. So I'm going to show you all the colors that I have available, and I'm going to tell you their color names so that when you go online, if there's something that you see on screen here, I can't guarantee it's going to look exactly the same in the shop photos as it does here, but I really tried so hard. That's, I think, the hardest part of this job is just showing these colors accurately. Even more true with the natural dyes is that the way that the colors appear truly depends on the lighting. So indoors, a lot of these yarns have a more purple kind of tint to them because of just the change in lighting, and then all of a sudden you take it into a natural light and they look like hot pink. So it's just a really difficult assignment trying to get everything to show up accurately. And of course, the way that I see things is probably different from the way you see things, and yeah. So I would say that in this video, however you're seeing the colors is going to be the most accurate description of what they actually look like in real life. Okay, so first up, I have the two black walnut colors, and I wanted to hold them side by side. So the lighter one, this one here, is chocolate coffee, and then this darker one is mocha mousse. which is the 2025 Pantone Color of the Year. And these are just so gorgeous and rich. So it kind of looks like a milk chocolate and a darker chocolate. I found these browns really difficult to photograph. So this is probably the most accurate I can get them to look is just in this light. But they're so gorgeous. And I feel like I'll show you which ones I think pair well together too with the brown shades. So these are the two brown options: chocolate coffee, mocha mousse. All of the lighter shades that I'm going to show you, these paler shades of peach and the lighter pinks and the medium pinks, all came from the Exhaust dye baths. So the way that natural dyeing works is your initial dye bath is when you're going to get the absolute most saturated color from the material. So the deepest shades will be like the first yarns to go in that dye bath, and the colors that are the lighter shades are from successive dye baths. So most of them were either just the very next dye bath, but some of them even went one step further into a third exhaust bath. So that is the case for these next two colors. These were from exhaust baths. And these, the pink magenta pokeberry dye bath in its exhaust form was giving much more peach toned colors. These especially look gorgeous with the browns. I'll show you that in a moment. This left one is Peach Fuzz, which was the 2024 Pantone Color of the Year. And this one here is Peach Cobbler. And what's really interesting about these, I'm going to come closer so that you can see. The Peach Fuzz is pretty uniform in color. There's not a lot of variegation, but the Peach Cobbler definitely, I'll just put that down, definitely has some variation in color, which I think is really, really lovely. So it's almost more like a variegated yarn. So this is the Peach Cobbler. So pretty, especially like right in this area on this side. I think you can see that beautiful variation there. So again, Peach Fuzz, Peach Cobbler. I think that these, especially with the browns, just look so, so beautiful. Like these four colors together would look amazing. But I think, so these together would be Peach Fuzz and chocolate coffee. Yeah. So this is Peach Fuzz and chocolate coffee together. They're just really pretty. And then the mocha mousse and peach cobbler together go like that. But then all four of these also, like the let's see, this is the Peach Fuzz with the mocha mousse, also looks really lovely. And this is the Peach Cobbler with the chocolate coffee. So they all go super, super beautifully together. I just think it's a really lovely palette. So pretty. So now we're on to the pinks, and I think, yeah, I'm still gonna go lightest to darkest here. So these two, I honestly have a really hard time telling them apart, especially in certain lights. But in the lighting right now that I have, I can definitely see a difference. So I would say that this one leans a little bit more peach colored, and this one has a little bit more of the pink in it. So it's a very slight difference. But this one on the left, so this one here is Cotton Candy, and this is the one that's in the swatch, so I'll show you that again. And then this one is bubblegum. So this is the bubblegum. And this is the cotton candy. And I just want to show you how they are similar or not from the peaches. So these are the pinks and these are the two peach colors over here. So I personally wouldn't necessarily put these together, but I think you'll also find with natural dyes that the colors do all work very beautifully together. And then the pinks, these lighter pinks with the brown walnut colors are like that. So I'll just, let's see. This is cotton candy and chocolate coffee together. Look like that. And then the chocolate coffee with the bubble gum. So you can see we've got bubble gum, chocolate coffee, and then cotton candy here. And then I'm gonna sub out the mocha mousse for that. So again, bubble gum, mocha mousse, and cotton candy. That's how these three look together. Again, those pinks are just such a slight difference from one another. And so I also wanted to show you again the skein of the bubble gum and how it knits up. So it's a little hard to see, but that's the bubble gum right there. So that's what that looks like in its knit up form. And then my medium pink pokeberry yarns are these two colors here. They're so pretty. Okay, so this one here, the lighter one, this one is flamingo. It's a nice, this one also has some slight variegation in it when you get it more up close to the light. So I really tried to show the variegation in the pictures, but this is the flamingo color. And the fruit punch color, all of a sudden we're getting more punchy now because this might have been an initial dye bath, I think. Just with less dye material in it than a couple of the darker ones. So beautiful. I love this one especially. So this is fruit punch, and then the flamingo is a bit lighter. And then these are the four shades together, so you can see there's quite a difference. So this one here is the bubble gum. Those three together. So fruit punch, flamingo, bubble gum. And then I'm gonna sub out the bubble gum for the cotton candy so you can see those three together. So try and, like, I'm looking at it on screen, but I also don't want my face in there. So you can see like how those look together. That's a nice pink gradient. With either one of those work really well. So, and then those four together. So you can see between the bubble gum and the cotton candy, there's a slight difference, but either of them work really well. I'll show you these two with the two browns. So if you wanted to mix pink and brown, that's how they look together. So the lighter pink is the flamingo, the lighter brown is the chocolate coffee, the darker pink is the fruit punch, and the darker brown is the mocha mousse. So you can kind of see how those would all look together. So like chocolate coffee and flamingo, mocha mousse and fruit punch. And then I'm gonna swap them. fruit punch and chocolate coffee, and then flamingo and mocha mousse. So you really can't go wrong with any of those. And then finally, these are probably going to be the two most sought after ones. I only have, so the fruit punch and the flamingo, I should tell you how many I'm going to have available of each. I just realized my recording was going to stop, so I just wanted to get that sorted out. Look at these. Oh my goodness. I had such a hard time photographing these with accuracy, but these are pokeberry at its absolute like most saturated. So amazing. So this one is passion fruit. This is the one, get it here. This is the one that I showed you in my sample. So the passion fruit knits up like that. Just get that out of the way. Like having a, this is a hard swatch to hold up, but really wanted you to see. So actually I can tell you these two here is the bubblegum and the passion fruit together is what those two pinks are right there. So especially with the passion fruit, the way that the pokeberries work in the dye bath is it's never going to be 100% a solid color when you're working with actual natural dye materials. This one has some really interesting variegation to it, but I want to tell you how to work around it too. So it's so pretty. But I did want to point out that in this particular colorway, there's just a couple of these random spots that are a completely different color. You can see that right there. And you might not want that in your knitting. It is only these like small snippets of color, and it's only in maybe 3 or 4 places on the entire skein. Go ahead and like open it up so you guys can see. Like it's really not bad. This will show you exactly like how much of a color. So you can see like right here, there's just like this little spot that's not pink. So the beautiful thing about non-superwash yarn, and I have done this with this yarn too, is it spit slices super well. So if you did run into part of that color that you just didn't like in your knitting, it's really easy to just snip it out and then, you know, use a little spit and rub it together, and it's like nothing happened. So for that reason, you know, I'm not worried about selling this at all in my shop. It's just natural dyes are what they are. And I think this is the only colorway that it might bother some people in, because otherwise you've got this really beautiful pink. So I'm trying to show so you can see there's a couple spots that just did not take the dye the same way at all. So I would just, if you didn't like it and it really bothered you, I would just go ahead and spit splice those out, because the majority of the skein is just absolutely stunningly beautiful. So this is the passion fruit colorway, and I'm just gonna wrap this back up. Okay, so that's passion fruit. I'll show you these with the medium pinks in a minute. I wanted to also show you lipstick. So this one is lipstick, and this one is, you know, in some lights it looks like a purple kind of magenta, and in other lights it looks more reddish. And in other lights, it looks absolutely hot pink. Like this light right now looks really different. So I had such a hard time like figuring out which pictures were going to accurately show this color, because it just, you can even like see the light, as the light changes, it changes, right? So it's just really, really hard to really accurately get what this color is, but it is like a magenta, and I think sometimes the colors show up better when you have it next to another one to compare it to. So again, that's Fruit Punch. So it's lipstick with, not Fruit Punch, passion fruit. So just so you can see the line up here. So now I'm going to show you like the gradient. So lipstick, passion fruit, Fruit Punch. Okay, and then I'm not going to be able to hold all these, but flamingo. So those are those four. And let's see if I can get a couple more in here. This one is cotton candy, bubblegum. Okay, so these are all the pinks. Oof. Oh my goodness. This is not easy, guys. Nor was collecting the pokeberries. I've got some fun videos about that. Okay, so here's like all of the pinks together in the Cuddle base. They're so pretty. So yeah, you could build a nice gradient. I would say like the 5 pinks. So you could do like, whoops. Ooh, you could do like lipstick, passion fruit, Fruit Punch, flamingo, and then either cotton candy or bubblegum would work like really well if you wanted to do like a 5 skein gradient. Let me tell you I'll hold up the, so I don't think the peachy ones look like super great with these, so personally I wouldn't pair these two with anything but the black walnut skeins. But that's just me. But then like with the chocolate skeins, these would also all look really, really nice. So the chocolate ones will go with either the peaches or the pinks, but I think the peaches only go with the chocolates, if that makes sense. As for quantity, I have 4 of each of these colors. So these are really, really small batch, you guys. I can't do a lot of the same exact color in one. So there's only 4 skeins available of lipstick, 4 skeins available of passion fruits. There's only 2 skeins available of the Fruit Punch and 2 skeins available of the flamingo. It's just the way the dye baths worked. Yeah, so these, if you like either of these colors, there's only 2 of either color up for sale. And then the lighter ones, I have 6. These are so close. I have 6 altogether. I can't remember if it's 4 bubblegum and 2 cotton candy or 2 bubblegum and 4 cotton candy. I can't remember, but they're so close that you could almost mix them in. The peaches, I have 2 peach fuzz and 4 peach cobbler available. And then the black walnut ones, I'm pretty sure that I have 5, either 4 or 5 of each of the browns. So yeah, so these I have a bit more. I think it might be 5 of each of them. So once again, that is my Cuddle Pokeberry update. And I think the only thing that I forgot to say about the DK, about the Cuddle Base, is that the weight is a DK weight. So it's a DK single ply yarn, 100% non-superwash merino. So I also have some pokeberry yarns on my Dream DK base. And these are the two pokeberry yarns. So these were a first dye bath and then its exhaust bath. So you can see how much the color shifts from one dye bath to the next without adding any more material, but it's still such a lovely color. And I think that these two would pair really beautifully in a colorwork project. And then I also have these two one-off skeins that are going to be, they're on my Dream DK base, but they're in the zero waste category. So my zero waste is when I use up like the remnants of dye baths and I mix different things together. I layer them. So these have some variegation in them. I think I used a mix of like pine cones and then maybe some mushrooms on top of them or something. So just for ease of colorway, I'm still gonna keep the same names. I'm gonna call the lighter one the Chocolate Coffee and the darker one the Mocha Mousse, because I think they're pretty similar. I'm just curious actually. So the Chocolate Coffee on, so they're different, but the Chocolate Coffee on the two different bases could still work really, really lovely together if you wanted to like have the same weight yarn but just mix bases. And then the Mocha Mousse also, the browns are pretty different, but I think because of all the variegation, you could probably get away with mixing maybe either one of those or neither. I'm just showing you how they look together. So not the same colorway, not the same dye materials. I don't know, maybe I won't name them the same thing, but one is definitely a little bit lighter than the other. So this is the difference between the two. I can't even remember if I'm putting these in the same, if I put these in the same listing or the other one, but they both, I would alternate skeins if you bought more than one, or I'll just make sure that one is listed as slightly darker and slightly lighter. So those are the two on the Dream DK. So the two pokeberry colors, I think these are so lovely together. They're just so gorgeous. I think that I want to use these two in a colorwork project, so I might have to hold one of them for myself and just knit them up together. Right now I have 5 of each, so I'll either put all 5 of each in the shop or just 4 of each if I decide to hold one out for myself and use it in something. But I think these would like make a nice cowl probably, or a hat, or you know, a couple hats, something like that. So they're so pretty. I want to see which pokeberry ones they most closely match. So I think, let's see, this is the Fruit Punch. I think the Fruit Punch is a really close match, so I think I'll name this one Fruit Punch so that those can kind of go together if you wanted to. And then the Flamingo, let's see. The Flamingo also could go really well. It's slightly more tonal that way. So those would both be like very similar if you wanted to have like a texture but keep the same overall color. So it's Flamingo on the top and Fruit Punch on the bottom. Maybe I'll just name it Flamingo Fruit Punch or something. So it's really, really similar to both of those colors. And then the lighter one, with Cotton Candy. I think that's really, really similar. Those would look really nice. And the bubble gum on the top. I think it goes more closely with the Cotton Candy. So I think I'll name this one Cotton Candy. It's really, my light is changing on me. Come on, light. Focus. Focus on the yarn. I might have to adjust my blinds here a little bit. So let me adjust the blinds. Okay, yeah. That's a little different now with the light. See, the light just changes so much. So that's with the Cotton Candy. This one actually, it could almost go with the peach too. This one is the Peach Fuzz. So that's that with the Peach Fuzz and with the Cotton Candy. So I think whichever one you pair it with, it kind of takes on that color. So you could make it lean a little bit more peach. You could make it lean a little bit more pink. This, the lighter one, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but there are some slighter spots that do have a slightly brighter streak of pink here or there. I don't think that it's going to be very noticeable in the knitting at all, but I think it's really pretty. So, and again, the two DKs together look like that. So I just think that's really, really gorgeous. And then, let's see. Let's show you if you wanted to put a brown together, the lighter one, with those pokeberries there. Looks like that. So, looks like that. And then the darker one looks like that. So all four of those together, like that. Okay. And then I have a new color in my zero waste worsted base, and it is so gorgeous. So this one, and I also have this on another base too, but this one is pine cones and Cortinarius mushrooms layered together from Exhaust Baths. I'm gonna come a bit closer so you guys can see the beautiful shades of pink in there. So it's a very neutral color. Really, really, really lovely and so pretty. Hopefully you can see those pinks in there too. So nice. And I think, so this one's a worsted. I haven't tried it, but I think it would pair really well with the DK, and that the DK would help bring those pops of pink out. So the pokeberries, they're not the same dye material as the Cortinarius mushrooms that give the pink over there, but the colors are really similar. And I think you could even pair, because of the way the cuddle base would knit up, this one is the flamingo, for example, also would look really nice. Would look really nice with that. So if you wanted to mix and match bases, I think you could do something, even though they're two, the pinks are DK and the brownish one is worsted. So there are 4 of these that will be available in the shop. And then this one is really fun. So I did the same exact thing. This is just on my fingering base, on my sock base. So this is in zero waste sock. And it's my Stamina base. I think it's called Stamina. And it's, I just changed the names of all my bases. And this is a full skein twisted together with a mini skein. So I will undo these so that you can see. The full skein is the zero waste, and this is the pine cones with the Cortinarius mushrooms streaked in there. Oh no, I might need to change my lighting again. And then it has a mini skein that is a full Cortinarius mushroom dye bath. Cortinarius mushrooms last year were so plentiful. I was able to get so many of them. And then this year we had a drought and we had no mushrooms during mushroom season. So sadly, I'm only able to offer these little tiny mini skeins, but I'm gonna just twist this up, separately for a second so you can see how it's going to be sold. So this is a zero waste sock set, and you get a full size skein and a mini skein. The variegation, hopefully you can see when it's in skein form like that with the pink streaks, but the variegation in the Cortinarius is so stunningly beautiful. There's so many different shades of colors in there. And then I wanted to show you, I actually have a sock sample. So I made these cute little socks, and the pattern is called Candy Heart Socks. And so I just wanted to show you what it actually looks like knit up into something. So it's the Candy Heart sock, and I used the mini skein obviously for the little hearts patterns in here. So it's subtle color work, but it still is really cute and beautiful. I think you can see them really well. And then I used it for the heel, and again there's more hearts down there and on the toe. So I've only got the one. I still have to knit the second sock, but I thought these turned out so cute. So there are three. There's only 3 of these sock sets that are going to be in the shop. So that's all I've got. But yeah, I think this is super beautiful. So I'm just gonna twist these back up. So when you look at the listing, I do have pictures showing the yarn both wound separately and together, but they will be twisted like this when you receive them. So so pretty. I think this is like my favorite of everything. It's so nice. I need to like adjust this light again. Let me see. The sun just keeps changing. Okay, yeah, that looks a lot better. Let me just see if you guys can see those colors. And it's just so gorgeous. And then the sock, the light on the sock, like that. The light is just, it's the sun is setting. It's like mid-afternoon here in New York right now. But it's so pretty. It's so cute. So I have 3 sock yarns coming into the shop. I'm going to be having these in one listing, but with the option to purchase each color separately. So these are, it's kind of like a chocolate vanilla strawberry situation. So almost like a Neapolitan ice cream, I think. The chocolate and the vanilla are actually both dyed with black walnut. The initial dye bath and then the exhaust dye bath gave this like just really subtle, kind of like a beige-ish, soft, not white, but not cream, maybe kind of a little bit of a beige, but you know, kind of like a vanilla bean is how I see it. So these are going to be chocolate something or other, vanilla bean, and then the strawberry is really subtle pink done with avocado, and I can't remember, I think it was an exhaust bath, or else I just put a lot of skeins in the dye bath at once, and so it was a pretty pale color. but I think that these three look really, really lovely together. So you could either, like, if you bought all three, you could use these in like so many different combinations. They could all go together into one sock or one shawl. You could pair the pink, the strawberry, and the chocolate together. You could pair the vanilla and the chocolate together. I think that maybe these two, you would also want to have the brown, because I don't think that there's really enough contrast just between these two. But I think all three together look really, really lovely. So I'll show you what they look like up close individually. So this is the chocolate, and then the vanilla bean here, and then this like strawberry color. It's just a really subtle, soft, beautiful pink. And then, so I wanted to just, I have them all in the skeins. So I also like to show things twisted together so that you can see exactly how they'll pair together. So let's see if I can get a spot kind of twisted up here. So you can see like the three colors together, just really, really beautiful. So it's kind of like a soft Neapolitan ice cream, maybe. I don't know, that's kind of what I was thinking. So you'll have the option to purchase all three skeins if you want, or just whichever ones on their own that you want to. So they'll all be together in one listing, but there'll be like a drop down where you can select the colors and the quantities. I have 5 each of the chocolate and the vanilla bean, and I think I have 8 of the strawberry. So I actually have slightly more of the pink. So those are the quantities for the sock yarn. And the only other thing that I forgot to mention is the sock yarn is a fingering weight base. It is 80% merino wool and 20% recycled nylon. So this is my only base with a non-natural material in it, but it is recycled nylon. So that just helps it give a little bit extra sturdiness in the important areas that are a little bit harder wearing. So that's my sock base. I've also put together, I have 3 shawl kits going up. This is on my, I used to call it my Luxe Base. I'll probably just leave it as my Luxe Base for right now because I haven't renamed it yet. But the fiber content is 70% extra fine merino wool, 20% royal alpaca, and 10% mulberry silk. And so this is a really beautiful, again, it kind of gives me the Neapolitan ice cream vibes. The colors showed up a little bit differently on this. And they're actually using slightly different dye materials. So in this one, this brown was dyed with autumn leaves. So just like all the oak leaves and stuff that you see in the fall time that have fallen from trees is what this color brown is here. The pink is avocado, and yeah, this was just with avocado pits only. So sometimes, in this, it looks a little bit more, when I hold it by itself, it looks a little bit more maybe mauve-ish, almost like it has more of a brown tone to it. But again, when you hold it up next to the brown of the autumn leaves, it definitely brings out the pink tone much more. And then this one is, again, it's an exhaust bath from Avocado. So there is a slight pinkish, peachish tint to it. It kind of almost looks undyed on its own, but then again, when you hold it up with the other colors, you can kind of see, especially next to the pink, it does have like a slight pinkish tint. So there will be 2 of this combination in the shawl set. So this will be all 3 skeins just together in a set, and it will be it will come twisted up together in one massively big skein, I think. So this is how it will look in the listing and when you get it, but I thought that those were really pretty together. And again, you could either, you could use them separately, you could use them together, and they just go really lovely together. And then the last shawl sets that I put together are there are 2 skein shawl sets, and they are actually dyed with mushroom and sassafras bark. So they kind of look like a rose gold to me. The mushroom colors are the more neutral colors, and the one that has that rose gold tint to it is sassafras bark. And so I thought that those would look really lovely, either alternating the skeins or doing like a 2 color work in like different like sections in like larger blocks of color maybe. I thought that these 2 colors just looked very spring-like, and so these are what they look like together. The mushroom in some lights can have a slightly greenish tint to it. Other times it looks a little bit more beige, but it really just kind of depends on how the light wants to read those colors. So this would be 2 skeins together, just in one set. I think in each of these, again, this is the same luxe base, so it's 70% extra fine merino wool, 20% royal alpaca, and 10% mulberry silk, and there's 437 yards in each of these skeins. So yeah, so that is just a really soft, neutral color palette right there. Kind of reminded me of like, again, like a rose gold, and it's almost not really metallic, but just a soft metal kind of colorway. So that is everything that's going to be coming into my shop. Let's let the light adjust again. So it's a pretty substantial update focused on pinks and neutrals in the spirit of Valentine's Day. So pokeberries, avocado, black walnut, strawberries, chocolates, raspberry, all of those different kinds of shades. So if you see something you like, I hope you will swing by my shop. It is stopdropandknit.com. And the shop update will be going live on Saturday, February 1st. And again, if you are in the United States, then you will be able to shop my yarns. And if you're not located in the US, but would definitely be interested in getting your hands on some of my yarn, please do let me know, and I will look into adding more countries, the option to ship to other countries outside of the United States. So thank you so much for tuning in with me today, and I will be back soon with a regular podcast episode. Bye, everybody.